So in this session, we are going to discuss HR acquisition and retention. So the basic agenda behind getting all the employees inside our organization is to plan it beforehand. Why to plan it? Well, because there are so much dynamics available and we need to tackle all those dynamics with the help of planning. So once we are planned well with our HR planning, that is HRP, Human Resource Planning. Please mug it up properly. HRP हे 3 अल्फाबेट्स आले की तुम्हाला ह्यूमन रिसोर्स प्लॅनिंग हेच आठवलं पाहिजे. So there are lots of challenges during including any person or employee inside the organization. We are very much ready to accept every employee, but we need to have some prerequisite with us. So what will be the objectives of this session? Let me read it aloud. We will be discussing human resource planning. In that we are discussing the definition, then we have objectives, the need and the importance of HRP, and then the basic importance. Then we have HRP processes. There are lots of processes, and then barriers to HRP. So this will be a session, else you can find the chapter number 4 in Ashwathapa HRM. Okay, so here we have human resource planning. So to start with, we need to know the nature of HRP. Okay, as we are discussing everything about the human resource, the planning should be very much aligned to the policies. Okay, so what is the nature here? Let me read it aloud for you. HRP is understood as a process of forecasting an organizational future demand for and supply of and the right type of people in the right number. See, what we are discussing about here, forecasting. What do you mean by forecasting? Prediction. We are discussing about the forecasting. Once we are getting a clear glimpse what we are expecting, then and then only we will be having a capability to plan ahead. Okay, so forecasting is very much important. What we are forecasting for? Demand. What is real demand for a future? We are discussing about that. Then supply, right number of people, means quantity of. So while discussing about the HRP, we need to plan ahead. Plan ahead means we need to forecast, and forecast about what? The demand of HRM or demand of HR, the supply of HR, and the quantity, right people, right number of people. So current trend is about the BA is evolving so much. We are learning so many things about advanced Excel, Python. We are getting the news about it. Why? Because this is the current trend. The industry needs it. There is a demand. Okay, and then what would be the countermeasures to supply it? We need to add the courses. Courses in what? Educational institute, the institutes which are providing the certifications will be giving the supply, and the quantity will be decided by those supplying entities. Why? Because we need to get a proper human resource with the matching demand, and then we are going to have a special forecasting feature for it. Means now if there is a vacancy of 10 HR, but 2 of them will be recruiters, 3 of them will be trainers, and then rest of them will be we can say normal compensation. So there is a demand of 10 HR. Now there are vacancies. but the recruitment and all these things are covered in the demand section, but the quantity needs to be planned well. What happens if we are hiring 5 recruiters here? There will be a big imbalance. Why? Because we don't need that talent in our organization in that much quantity. So planning is the only process where we are getting the vacancies, where we are getting the term vacancy is generated by this process. Okay, how many vacancies are there in any organization is decided by HRP. You got the idea? The HRM department can initiate the recruitment and selection process. Vacancy, then recruitment and selection. Considering your example, you need 20 employees for your area. How you calculated it? Why 20? Because in last year you had only 12 employees with you and you were unable to cover 80% of area. So what you need? To cover that 80% area, 8 more people. In that sense, we are going to cover with more human resource. We are generating the vacancy. सर मला अजून मुलं द्या, माझा एरिया पूर्ण कव्हर होत नाही, पोरं थकून जातात पण एरिया पूर्ण कव्हर होत नाही. What we are doing then? We are giving a initiative for the vacancy, then the HR system of any organization initiates for recruitment and selection process. So this is the actual process of HRM, HRP. So planning is to be done properly, vacancy, demand, then supply should be there. What happens if organization give only 2 people to you? In supply is minimum. So you still have the vacancy with you. Situation is getting better but not full-fledged. Okay, so this may happen. So this was the nature. Now let's talk about the importance of HRP. Okay, so you got the basic idea. I will give a special session on definitions and objectives. So that will be covered in the presentation. Basic idea should be clear. See, just changing the words. The first point in the importance of HRP is the needs taken care of, human resource. In the previous section, what we have discussed is about the demand. Same thing available over here, but there are some hidden agendas over here. What? Let me read. The skills and competencies and the level at which the people are required for the uninterrupted conduct of business. When these numbers are adhered to, organization will be assured of the right number of skilled employees. Now we are calling about the qualitative things. See, we are discussing about the skills, competency, as well the experience, and then the right people, right number of people. If your organization is not having a proper skilled employee, then there is an issue with the HRP. Okay, the planning is not proper. That's why you are not getting the expert human resource with you. This is the first importance. Creating highly talented personnel. Qualified and competent people are known for job hopping, thereby creating a frequent shortage in the organization. Manpower planning helps to prevent such shortages. Therefore, technology changes will often upgrade some jobs and degrade the others. Talent retention. What happens if you have a talented human resource with you? They try to get more and more by working more and more. They are looking after better salary, better ambience, and the most important, benefits. So they try to hop, job hopping. So the HRP ensures that the talent is always there in the organization. They try different types of interviews, they try to survey the employment and their issues, and they try to keep the talent inside the organization, because all of the situations are just created. Any organization which is successful is just by their talented people. Sometimes the whole organization is bought just to get those employees with this. There are lots of examples. So job hopping should be minimized with the help of HRP. The third and most important is international strategies. All of you are willing in the back of the mind that I should get a job in abroad. How and why this process happens is hidden under this HRP process. In India, you are getting 10 lakh package for the X profile. If you visit France or US, you are getting 30 lakh for the same X profile. How this happens? Same profile. Rather, we have 4 days a week there, and then we have less work. But what's really happening here? They are not having that skilled personnel, and there is a demand for it. Though they have advertised, though they have asked their educational institute to fulfill that, they don't have this. So now they are taking up the risk to hire you to fulfill that post. Okay, so we had a demand of that skills, competencies, all these things are found in you. You were already working somewhere. You are working in the same profile what they are expecting. So what they do, they want you to work with this. So first and foremost, their currency is high, and the second thing, you need to be very much ready to switch on. For that, they are giving you a lucrative offer. If you want to join any organization which is working abroad, you should start with MNC companies right now. If you are not joining with the MNC companies, these X profiles will not match. You can get a clear idea about Mercedes. You can get a clear idea about PepsiCo. Those are existing in abroad as well. So there might be a better chances that you should get extra money, get a abroad job as well. So the focus is starting from HRP. They should know that you know something which is already applicable for other jobs abroad. So international strategies could be very much as on importance of agenda of HRP. Let me read for you. The international expansion strategies depend upon the HRP. HR department's ability to fill the key jobs with the foreign nationals and the reassignment of employees from within or across national borders is a major challenge facing international business. The HR in India coordinating with France and US always, and now if there is a demand couldn't be fulfilled by their nation itself, they are asking the help to the personnel in the India. So what's happening? You are getting a chance to getting hired in the abroad post. So if you are having a confusion how I get a job in abroad, this is the key to work on. You need to have same skill set, same competencies that are required to work in abroad. Okay. Now organizational growth cycle and planning. Let me erase this first. Most of you will face this. You will be recruited by a new organization, startup you can say, and then you will be asked to make all the agendas for the marketing. Why it is necessary? Why it is important? Just to ensure that the organizational growth or the planning is very much aligned with the skills, competency and experience available with the HRM, and that's why they are capable to have the proper goal achievement of the organization. So if, let's consider an example. In Pune we had 30 branches currently, any X organization. Now they want to expand, now they want to go beyond that, so they are planning for 50 branches. If the 30 branches had 300 employees, so now they are in need of 300 employees. Now they are in need of 200 more employees. So if the organizational growth is expected to happen, the HRP plays an important role here. Unless and until we are having that human resource with us, we couldn't proceed for that growth. So this is also an important parameter in the importance of HRP. So in this session you have got two different agendas which are more powerful. First and foremost, when you are going for any growing organization, there are better chances for promotion. What's happening over here? We have 30 branches. Out of those 30 branches, some will be promoted as a branch head in these 20 branches, right? If you are on the top of this branch list, you are a good performer, then you will be definitely promoted earlier. So choose those organizations we are expanding fast. And then the second agenda I taught you, that international strategies. So if you are working in the MNC with the similar or same profile which are already existing in the abroad, so system developer, marketing manager, marketing analyst, product designer, everything, these profiles are common across the nations. So if you are working well, you can have an opportunity to work abroad. See, these are two different agendas which have been explored on this session. So have you learned better about this importance of HRP? Any doubts?